Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. It is Monday morning, and as promised, we are back on the gray F-150 here. We are going to address this frame rail issue that we're having and get this thing finished up because I got other projects and this one needs to get out the door. So let me show you where we're at and what I got going on here. So if you recall from the last video, we left off with this frame rail being all kitty wampass. It was not lining up side to side at a half-inch gap between the frames. It wasn't pretty, but I come out and did some pulling on it this morning just to kind of see what was happening. I have a tower hooked to the lower side of this frame rail here because I thought it was twisted, so I'm twisting it back this way. And I gotta say, I mean, I put a lot of pressure on that, and it wasn't the answer. It wasn't all the answer. So I come up with this concept here. Basically, I have my port of power, sorry about that, set up between the new clip, pushing that frame rail out. I think that one's bent out and this one's bent in. So I'm just gonna make the two meet in the middle, right? This side over here is great, ready to go still. So we got the port of power pushing the frame rail out. I have that tower over there underneath the frame hooked right here. I also have this tower here hooked to the this section of the cross member of the frame here. So that's holding the truck this way while that tower pushes the truck that way. And I'm pretty happy with what I got going on right now as far as lining up side to side. From here to the back, the rear of this frame rail is up too high. Problem is, I can't fix that. I can't fix everything at the same time. It's just not cooperating. So what I come up with is I went through and leveled the truck up, you know, measurements from my mounting plates for the box, made sure everything's kosher, everybody's happy, level side to side. So what we're gonna do, I think I'm going to fire the welder up. I'm going to close this gap up a little tighter, and then I'm going to burn this top section in so that's basically side to side is locked in. We're still going to have to do some work down here, but like I said, I can't do it all at the same time. I've got to start somewhere. So we're going to burn this in, and then from there, that'll stay stationary, and I'm hoping to, well, I'm not hoping, I know I'm going to go to this back of this frame here and somehow or another pull that down until our frame rail is level. That way the box fits correctly. And then once that's level, we'll burn the bottom in, and then from there I'm going to put some more weld on this left rail so it doesn't move at all. And then from there we'll take everything off for the most part, and then we're going to do we'll check our level side to side, take some measurements, and if I have to adjust this whole frame rail together, I can do that. I've got 30 tons of pulling power here. I can bend some stuff if needed, but I said I can't do anything until I start somewhere. So we're going to fire the welder up. We're going to burn this weld in right here, and we'll go from there. So let me get set up and we'll get back to it. All right, we got everything welded in. Everything actually turned out really good for the most part. We'll go over a couple things here yet, but so we got welded all the way around, ground everything down. We did add a plate of steel on the outside here and one on the inside of each side. I really don't think it's necessary, but I figured it'd help in the comment section from people telling me that that's not going to be strong enough. So this will be strong enough. But we do have a slight issue, and it's not the end of the world, but all said and done, springs back in, everybody happy, everybody bolted back together. This tail back here is about 3/8 of an inch lower than that side with the truck level. I measured it 3 different times in 3 different sections in 3 different ways, and between the level and the tape measure, it says that's down 3. So we're strapping this down. We're going to strap the front down. Got a chain hook to the back. We're going to start doing a pull up and see how it does. So I'll get set up and we'll get going. Hang on 1 second. Get a little pressure on it to hold everything in place. I don't know how this is going to go because I'm doing kind of I need a straight up pull, and I got more of a backing up, but it shouldn't take much. So let's, damn it. I don't know why that's tripping that breaker. That's a 20 amp breaker. That's the 3rd time it's done it, twice today. Not quite sure what the deal is. Anyways, let's bend some stuff. Like I said, I don't think it's going to take much to do it. $31 5/8, 32. $31 3/4, 31 and just over 7/8. $31 7/8, 31 and just over 7/8. So we're within 1/8 of an inch. It's good enough for me. It's just off bubble, so we'll jack the truck up that way. On the bubble. Perfectly on the bubble. So we went from 3/8 of an inch difference to 1/8 of an inch difference. Plenty close enough for me, especially for that measurement. We don't know, the truck's never sitting plumb level or square anyways. I mean, a low tire in the front could be doing this right now. But I'm happy with all that. So now we got a few hours yet. It's about 8 o'clock. Got a few hours here. We're gonna start working on this. So obviously this big indentation here, that's supposed to be there. Obviously this sharp crease, this dent, this crease, that crease is not supposed to be there. There's also a dent all the way down through here. Not major, but, and obviously we have a nice tight door gap there that we need to get back out. So what's gonna happen here, I'm gonna clear the paint off it so we can do some welding, and we're gonna try to work this back out. If it does not cooperate for some reason, remember, I got a parts truck outside. I'll pop that back window out, cut it right here, replace that section, weld in a new one, a little body work, a little primer, a little paint, should be brand new. Remember, we're not building no show trucks. But I'd rather save this if I can. So let's put some time into this. I'll get this cleaned up and we'll get started on it. Okay, nothing's on fire yet. Yet. I will say that I told it once in a video not too long ago that I lit 2 cars on fire in my life. An F-150 replacing this section, and a hot spark went through and landed in the seat belt inside there. But by the time I knew it, the back of it was... But we got it out. It wasn't a huge deal. I ended up having to put a new seat cover on it, replace a couple things, seat belt obviously, but so obviously on this pole we cannot get crazy. We are just tack welded on there. So this is just sheet metal. There's no structure right in that area. So we don't have to pull real hard on it. And if it doesn't do what we want it to do, well, then we need to quit and come up with another plan. I think we're pushing our luck here. Okay, I think that is good enough for that section. Because the more that last little burp of power I gave it, took this and started stretching this out, and that's not what we want. That needs to stay in there. It took a lot of that buckle out, and I can see from the back side of it that is now squared off versus rolled around. So let's get this off of here. I'm fairly happy with this section here. That actually pulled out really nice, but I think that was the easy part. The next step I'm going to, basically my next trick I guess, is tackle this section right here. This is supposed to, right now it just kind of goes up and in. It's actually supposed to come out and meet at this point. So this comes down and then swoops in like that. That's what it's supposed to do. So we are going to, we're going to tack another plate into this crease right here and see if we can work that back out. Okay, so that was not the best thing. It ripped that one and it's trying to rip the other one out. That's just gonna come flying off of there. Okay, that kind of made a mess, but we can weld that shut. We're not giving up yet. I'm gonna have to go after this one next and see, because so far nothing is relieving the pressure off of the door. I'm hoping it's right here by grabbing this section and rolling it out. It'll kind of, right now it's kind of going like this. I'm hoping it'll be more like a square in and square out. I know it's hard to see in the camera, but that's what we're doing. Alright, we got that one tacked on. It's still not doing what I want to do. It's pulling the metal out, but it's not pulling that out. Not moving that at all. Where's the pressure? Well, we're all in on this one, guys. I don't know what's going to happen, but basically we just weld that plate all the way on that outer side. I mean, I don't see anything on the inside. No damage in here. Maybe something going on right here. and I got a pucker up there in the top corner. So I just really feel that this has just rolled around. So like I said, I don't know what's going to happen, but she's welded on there pretty good. Hopefully we don't pull out. Hope I don't make any big holes. So see what happens. I already like it. Gotta get it to stay there though. Where's my bam bam? There it is. I know it's not going to stay there, so we're going to try to go a little past. You can hear her giving up. And I think that pucker just disappeared up here. Let's see what happens. Well, we definitely gained. It's not hitting anymore. So let's get a little more medieval on it, I guess. Let's see if we can hit the garage door with the clamp here. This is definitely the issue though. And I can see the whole cab moving there. Ah, too much. Ah, there's a fine line. And that was it. Okay. Still, not the end of the world. Our gap's actually nice. If we can get to stay there. It buckled real hard right here. But we're not done yet. We're not done. Alright, I'm going to get this off. Well, we're winning. A little bit at a time. I got my gap back good enough. I mean, it's a little tight right here, and I might put a little more time into it, but I'm undecided. I need to get this section here to come out. That needs to go in. This still needs to come out, and then I need to work this area out. It's a little bit at a time, but I think we're going to salvage it. I still only burned through those 2 spots right there. Actually, I think there's 3. But that's probably going to get a little worse because I'm going to have to get pretty medieval on that section. Because I think that's where our pressure is right here. I think this needs to come out probably a good 3/8 of an inch. Because basically I'm pulling this out, but this isn't coming out. So it's buckling this right here. Like I said, there ain't a rule book to this. Kind of make it up as you go. But yeah, but that's it for tonight. It's like 10:30. I should probably stop making noise out here. And we'll get back on in the morning. Sound good? Okay. Well, it's the next day. I got out here and put a few hours into it, and I think we're good enough. Everything worked out for the best part. I think we're going to get a coat of mud on it, block that out, and see what it looks like from there. And it is what it is, right? Besides, can't look at both sides at the same time, right? So if my side don't match the other side, we'll be fine. But anyways, it's actually pretty close. So anyways, we're going to get some mud mixed up. Get going on that part. Oh, the box. Box didn't turn out so good. I pulled the wheel well off it, and yeah, completely rotted. All the way through. There ain't nothing there. We're not using that box. I'm working with a guy right now I found on the old marketplace that has a box in color, tailgate, and a rear bumper. I'm sure it's not going to be perfect, but what do you do? We don't have a lot of choices. So anyways, we're going to go look at that tomorrow, see how that does. But let's get some mud on this thing quick and get going. I did weld the hole shut too that we had in there back by the window. So that's all sealed up again. And I did not light the interior on fire, so that's a bonus. That's ugly, but I gotta start somewhere. Well, guys, it's a new day. I shut the camera off and just went to town last night on this thing. 3 coats of Bondo, filled her up real nice. I mean, it's not thick. A little bit right here, but it is what it is. End up getting 3 coats of primer on it. I'm going to block this all out and redo it. It's got a couple bad spots yet, but whatever. We're going to get to that. Let's talk box side. So as I showed you on that red box, it ended up being garbage, rotted out around the wheel well. So I found a guy on Marketplace about 2 hours away. They had a gray in color with tailgate, with rear bumper, literally bolted on, and we're done for $700. Yeah, should have known that was too good to be true. That thing was worse than this one. Completely unusable. No, let me take that back. I could use it. I could bolt it on this truck, and the box sides were fine from a distance. The underside was completely rotted. The bottom of the tailgate completely rotted. I just can't put a truck together like that. That's just not the way it works around here. So as we discussed, this is totally rotted all the way up through this wheel well. So on my 2-hour drive back home with my tail between my legs, I got thinking, this blue box off the blue truck is actually, box sidewise, is in really good shape. Not even a dent in it, a couple scratches, but the front of it is completely trashed. And you cannot replace that without taking the box sides off. Believe me, I've already looked at that. So I thought, well, what's inside of these things? So I pulled this side off. And honestly, for an 11-year-old truck, this is not bad. Basically, the inside of the box sides, if that makes sense, is actually in really good shape. This was a gravel road truck, so the inside is full of dirt. So it just never really got wet, I suppose you could say. So that's my only option left, is to order box sides for the red box and put new box sides on it. But the only way you can get them is from Ford. There are aftermarket ones, but by the time you pay shipping on them, they're going to be junk, So from Ford, I figured it was going to cost me $1,500 for 2 box sides with 2 inner fenders. I'd rather not do that. This blue box is actually, like I said, in really good shape. So I thought, why not just take the box sides off of this truck and put them on the red box, which is, I don't think, that's what I am doing. I got this one off, and if you think this is a waste of time, it could be. Depends how you look at it. These box sides are free. They're sitting in my shop doing nothing. I already got this side off. It took 30 minutes. The other side, figure it's another 30 minutes. So basically, I got an hour labor getting these ones off. I still got to take those ones off, but I got to take them off regardless. I'm going to have to put new ones on regardless. So technically, I'm only wasting an hour. I don't want to go to Ford and order new ones. I don't want to pay that kind of money. Not for this truck. This thing's, like I said, 10, 11 years old now? These box sides will be just fine. So that's the plan. I'm going to get this other one torn off, and then we'll get the red box torn apart, and we'll continue on from there. So hang tight, I guess. The sides off the blue truck, all as well. Now we're going to get this one torn apart. Wow. I don't know what to think about that. It's good, but it's starting. It's all bubbly right here. It's starting. I think somebody's actually already been in here and repainted this, so I think we're just going to go ahead and do it. I don't know why that side is so much cleaner than this side. I mean, this is, like I said, there's just nothing there. But whatever. It is what it is, right? And if anybody knows a way to get these off without breaking every clip, let me know. Broke 2. That's not bad. So just like any other panel, find spot welds, drill them out. Start with an 1/8 inch bit down through the center. started. We did not do up in the wheel well because I'm doing this a little different than the average Joe would and the way I normally do. I'll explain that in a minute. But next up is the 3/8 rotabroach. Basically just go through and hog everything out. Now usually on the quarters or the box sides, I would go in and drill the spot welds out that are right here in this wheel well. But being as rotted as that other box side is here, I'm assuming that this inner structure here is also completely rotted. And Ford ain't giving those away basically. So on the blue truck, I took the cutoff wheel and I cut this inner structure right down through here and separated it, basically leaving the wheel well on the box side. So on this one, I'm going to cut on this side right down through here and leave this. So once the box side is off, then I'll go through and drill this out. I can't get up here and drill these spot welds basically. There's just no real way to do it. I can weld it back together, but I can't get in there and drill it. So instead of replacing those from Ford, because they're like $240 a side, there's nothing wrong with the ones in the blue truck, so I might as well try to reuse them. They're already attached here. So basically when I put the new box side on, instead of welding these spot welds here, that'll all be original still. I'm just gonna go up and weld these here. So that's the plan. So I'm gonna take cutoff wheel, rip that off of there, and then this side should be ready to exit the shop. So. Well, it's Friday, and we are back in the shop. We had made our little trip up to Milwaukee yesterday and picked up our new project for next week after we get this truck done anyways. The, what is a 20 Nissan Rogue. So this morning I got out here and got some done without the camera on just to get a head start on the day, I guess. I took some time and got the inner fender well, the old inner fender well separated from inside the box and from inside the box sides, so we're all good to go there. At that point, I took some time to clean out the foam sealant that Ford uses between the outer box and the inner wheel well area. I figured it isn't going to hurt to get that out of there because it is just a big sponge. Dug that out of there, did my best to clean up everything we could, ground down all my weld areas on the box and the box sides, and then I went ahead and treated it. I found a product out at the old Menards of Rust-Oleum. It's a 2-in-1 rust reform and seal. It claims to convert rust and seal it up in one spray. So figure, is it the answer? No. Is it going to hurt? Absolutely not. If we can make this thing last a couple more years before it starts to rust again, it'll be good for whoever owns it. So that's where we're at so far today. This is probably going to prove to be pretty complicated by myself, but we are going to attempt to put it back on by myself, right? And all you gotta do is hook the back. Hook it. And you just gotta make it fit. Stay. Hey. wasn't so bad at all. All right, we got the welder out, burner in. Well, we got the welder turned down about as low as I think I can go, so I try not to burn through all this crap. I'm gonna go through each corner basically, tack it so everything stays stationary, and then we will go through one by one, burn it in a couple hours, have her done, right? Well, I think that's going to wrap up our Friday. Got our box sides on, welded, ground down, cleaned up. Not really cleaned up, I guess. We got some cleaning up to do yet. But plan is, well, the main plan was for this thing to be done today. This has been 2 weeks now, and that is way longer than a builder should take. But as you see, we ran into a lot of issues, so we're going to be into week 3 on this thing, starting Monday, which is going to be paint. The weekend, I'm going to try to get couple dents that are in this box fixed real quick, get some epoxy on it, get some fill primer on it, basically get this thing ready for paint. And then Monday, we'll get the shop cleaned up, get painting. We got that rogue outside, we'll get that in, get started on that. Hopefully get this thing done and put together by the end of next week. So anyways, I don't like dragging them out this long, but it is what it is. When they take this long, they take this long. So we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.